Today I have something for you guys that's going to impact you permanently, and it will give you the motivation or reminder to stop procrastinating and ultimately change your life over time. This thing, I'm not sure if I'm the first person to talk about this. I'm most likely probably not. I haven't heard people talk about this enough, but the moment I tell you this thing, I want you to really take it in, apply it, accept the fact, because it genuinely is a fact, and I will explain to you why it is. And yeah, start using it to benefit your life, start using it to improve. That's pretty much it. We're going to get straight into it. Thank you very much for tuning in again. I look forward to this one. What is this thing? This thing is knowing that rent is due every day. Now, like I said before, I don't know if anyone spoke about this before. I'm sure people have. I'm really sure people have. But I haven't heard people talk about this enough, because this only clicked in my head recently, which helped me get back on track with things that I needed to do. What does rent is due mean? Or anyone who's has a landlord, or anyone who understands anything about renting or the housing market or anything like that, knows that every month there's a certain amount that needs to be paid at the end of the month, and there's no negotiation. That amount needs to be paid. And this actually applies to everything in life. But the difference is, our rent isn't every month. Our rent is daily, every day. Sometimes even every hour or every moment, right? So what do I mean by this? I'm gonna explain. Your body is rented. You came, you're gonna go, it's gonna go back into the ground from where it once came. Your thoughts, everything is rented, right? Just imagine anything you can imagine, anything that you think you may have permanently, you don't have permanently. There's nothing you have that's permanent, right? Like, you've all heard that everything is energy, and it's the same thing that applies. It's energy too is rented, because that energy is going to be converted into something else, But the moral of the story is, remember that every day you need to pay your dues, and this dues obviously comes in different forms, depending on what you're doing. So let's say, I don't know, you're into football. You know me on this channel, I talk about football. I love football, right? Footballers, they got to train every day. And if they don't train every day, because sometimes they do have rest days, yes, I do know that, they still need to be focused on something that's related to their football, whether it's their diet, whether it's, their recovery, whatever it is. The rent is still due that day. They still need to put in that energy, that focus, that work towards, something related to what they're trying to buy, which is to be a footballer, to win games, so and so and forth. You're probably most likely not a footballer, right? Even if you are, then obviously that example applies perfectly. But if you're not, the same thing applies to whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to achieve. Whether you've got a girlfriend, whether you've got, a family, you most likely do. You have a duty of rent to pay towards them. I know you probably haven't been seeing it like that, but I'll give you this example, right? If you have a girlfriend and you're a guy, you're gonna know that your girlfriend's gonna want to speak to you sooner or later, right? And if she doesn't hear from you, or she doesn't speak to you in a long period of time, there's gonna be some repercussions, and over time, there's gonna be some bigger repercussions, and that's because the rent isn't paid, right? The landlord's gonna kick you out. It's the same thing with your body. Your body is rented. If you want to have a good body, you need to, first of all, gain the deposit, which I'm going to talk about a bit more. Gain the deposit, put in that initial investment into yourself, and start working every day, or every 2 days, or every 3 days, whatever it is. It has to be consistent, right? And the rent is due every day. So as long as that payment is being put into the pot every day, you will keep up with the payments that's required to have that thing. It's quite a simple concept, but the best thing you can do is apply this to every area in your life, because everything is rented, right? And the moment you stop paying for that rent, that thing will slowly deteriorate, or the landlord will get frustrated, and you get kicked out of it. But it's important to know that obviously this is a natural thing. This isn't something that's new. Rent, obviously, it has to be paid. It's always had always had to be paid, and it always will be, as long as this earth is the way it is, where we deteriorate. So I want you to remember this the next time that you know that you're going for something, you're achieving something, you're striving towards something. Let's say you want to be a singer. To sing, you got to practice that voice, you got to practice learning melodies, you got to learn this, practice that, this and that. And you got to do this consistently over time and pay that rent, So apply this for yourself, whatever you're doing, right? And know that, okay, today I need to pay my rent. What's my rent? I need to put this amount of energy towards it. A lot of the time we know how much is actually needed to put towards, to actually get something, to actually win. If you're in doubt, just give it your all. Do what you know is absolutely your best, and that will guarantee the rent is paid. That is pretty much it, guys. It's very simple, but it's so important. I had to dedicate a whole video towards it because it is something that really clicked in my head, and I was like, whoa, like this actually never stops. I need to always do this. I need to always be on top. The moment I stop doing this, I should just expect things to go, or things to turn left and have a different, conclusion. But I wanted to really get that across to you guys, and yeah, I hope that makes sense, and I hope that you're able to apply it into your life. And yeah, that's what we're about on this channel. We're about applying knowledge that whether I discover or someone else discovers, applying it to our lives and improving it. So thank you very much for tuning in. Please talk to me down in the comments. Tell me what you think. Tell me if there's any new theories or any other ideologies that you have around this topic, and let's have a conversation down in the comments. Thank you very much again, and I hope you have a lovely rest of the day. Peace.